6 steps to recruit more volunteers for your projects. My first tip is to offer flexible volunteer opportunities. You should clearly state the expected commitment of the volunteer position. Is it a volunteering commitment for 3 months, 6 months, or how long is it gonna be? You should clarify this at the beginning so that the volunteer can make informed decisions. This way, potential new volunteers can know clearly and early on how much time is expected of them. Also, if you have upcoming events within your project, you could send out a poll to all volunteers to ask who's available instead of holding your volunteers to unrealistic expectations. My second tip is to be specific. When you publish and share volunteering position, include specific details on the skills you're looking for in the volunteer. You should keep your doors open to anyone who feels strongly committed to your cause. However, some volunteering roles require specific skills. For example, greeting and welcoming event attendees at the door seems like a role that anyone can do. However, it actually requires a lot of emotional intelligence and extrovert qualities. So you need to make sure to match the right volunteer to your volunteering needs. The third tip is to highlight the impact of volunteers. People need to know that their time is spent on a good cause and that it's making an impact. When you make the impact clear in your volunteer recruitment, it will be easier for prospective volunteers to envision how they will contribute to your project. My fourth tip is to feature your volunteers on social media. One powerful way of recruiting volunteers is to feature volunteers already involved in your project. Use your Facebook page, Instagram account, website, or blog to feature your current volunteers. You can interview them, ask how they heard about the volunteering opportunity, why they volunteer, and what their favorite part of volunteering is. If everyone sees that you have supportive and happy volunteers, they will be encouraged to sign up to volunteer with you too. Plus, it's a great way to say thank you to your current volunteers. My sixth tip is to recruit through your current volunteers. So ask your current volunteers to invite their friends to join them. They are going to be your best advocates for finding extra volunteer help. And my last tip is to post the volunteer opportunity online. You can always post your call for volunteers on LinkedIn, social media to reach to more people. And when you describe the volunteering opportunity, remember to apply the tips I mentioned earlier. Be specific with the time commitment and skills required, and include the impact and importance of the volunteer role in your project. These are my tips, and I hope they help you attract new volunteers to help your projects. Thank you.
So, how do you begin building a team for your project? As I was able to hear, a lot of you already have projects. I'm not sure about how you structured them, but for my project, for the Musical Mentorship Initiative, we have an administrative board. And in the administrative board, we have different roles. There is a co-founder, Blanche Dar, that works with me on the project, and we are trying to observe everything and make sure that everything works together. Like I said, there are about 70 people that are associated. We have about 40 mentors, which are students from BARD, from the Conservatory of Music, that teach the private music lessons, and we have about 30 students from the local community around BARD that are taking these lessons. So with that, all of these people, 70 people are a lot of people, so I do need a team in order to help me with running the project and also with growing it, because that's one of our goals, to be able to help to as many children that are in need of our service in the BARD community and in just the local places and local schools and other institutions as much as possible. So how I started building my team is that I identified the people at BARD that would be able and willing to support me with this project. It's very important to look at who would want to do this, and not just basically count on people that they will want to do it. A lot of people weren't really interested, or they didn't have the time, and those are very big factors, especially when you're building the team for your project. I think that it is very important to find somebody that is willing to do it and that has the time. It's also very important that they are passionate about the project. When I was looking for team members, I made sure that they loved the project just as much as me, if not more, because when somebody loves the project and is passionate about it, they will be doing their very best in order to achieve progress within it, and in order to work hard. As you all know, these projects require a lot of time and a lot of care, and somebody that somebody that isn't passionate about the project is probably not going to be the best person to be in your team for the project, that will be helping you lead the project, because then there are consequences that come with that, and it's always problems with time management and problems with unwillingness to put in work. So that would be another thing that I think is very important. And in regards to how you literally find this, I think it's best to reach out to people on your campus or in your environment where you are building this project in person. Just approach them, talk to them about the project, explain why you care about this project, ask them how they feel about it, and also share ideas that you have about this project. It's very important to communicate all of this, and I think I would usually, whenever I would recruit team members, I would talk to them for an hour or two and just go in depth, maybe even exchange some ideas about the future of the project with them, ask them if they have any suggestions or things like that. And this is also going to help you with discovering whether somebody is passionate about this or not. It's also very important to explain some of the tasks that would be associated if they were to enter the project team, because it is important that they know what they're getting themselves into. I don't know how your projects are structured. For the musical mentorship initiative, there are various tasks that have to be done, including maintenance of the website, taking pictures from events, scheduling the events, scheduling private lessons, making sure that everybody is registered when they come on campus, making sure that all the classes are running smoothly, taking feedback from parents, taking feedback from students, taking feedback from mentors. There is a whole operation that's going on, and in order to make sure that all 70 people go through this and you complete all the tasks in your project successfully, you need people, and you need people that will be willing to do the work. And discussing this with them and explaining that they're explaining the tasks and the difficulty of the tasks and the time requirement that will most likely be needed is crucial, because then they know what they're getting themselves into. And that's going to help you in the long run. I would also encourage you to keep them up to date with news and get them as involved with the project as possible, because this will make the project their own as much as it is yours. And in my opinion, this should be everybody's goal with the civic engagement projects, because this is going to get your team members, your project team, to be just as passionate as you are about the project, and they will be putting in just as much work as you are putting in. And this is always helpful, and it really helps the project grow. I know I've had problems with this in the past, and I've made changes, and the improvement here has been very great. So with that, I want to say that the last thing with how you're gonna build this team would be that you just have to make sure that they appreciate the project. It's very important that they understand why it is why it is why is this project there, what does it do. A lot of times the people that I recruited for my project team have experience with this in the past. That's to say that they have taken lessons, private lessons from similar programs like this, similar initiatives, and they understand what's the meaning of receiving free musical education, especially because musical education can be very expensive here in the US, and in other places as well. And they know how much it means to little children to receive this free private education, and to get the opportunity to study a musical instrument and to study music along with that. And this is really going to help you get project team that is going to appreciate the project and that really understands the meaning of this project. So with that, the next question that I thought would be is important, that how do you begin recruiting volunteers for the project? So this very much depends on the kind of project that you have. For example, like I said, MMI has administrative board, which is the project team, and then we have mentors, which are the students from the conservatory that provide the private education to members of our community. So with this, what I basically did, once I got to BART, I started talking to people again in person, one by one, and I was explaining to them the process that we have and what we do. Maybe not as in depth as I did to the team, to the project team, but I still explained what they're getting themselves into and the tasks, and how much would be expected if they are to become a volunteer and they are to become a mentor for my initiative. And it's also important to have people that are going to be loving this, and that are going to appreciate the same thing as the team members. They just won't be as involved. They will be volunteers, and not that the project team is not volunteers, but they are just more involved. They take care of different tasks, and at least for my initiative, the volunteers, the mentors are not as involved. They just hold the lessons. They give the private musical lessons to children from our community, and they give us feedback about the lessons. So I would say just communicate with them in person. Also ask your project team to reach out for volunteers and talk to them. That way you can recruit many more volunteers than if you were to do it just by yourself. The next question is how do you get them engaged with your project, both your team members and your volunteers? The key is communication. I would say that you have to not only send emails, but also organize hangout events, and just have consistent engagement with your team and with your volunteers. To give you just a few examples, we always send emails to ask for feedback, and even personal emails to ask for about a certain student. We reach out to parents of the children. We reach out to get feedback about their lessons and how they're doing, whether they have any problems with it. whether there is something for us to improve, etc. We also organize hangout events where we invite our project team, but also we invite all the volunteers, and we organize this on campus so that everybody can get to know to each other and talk to one another. And this is a really great way to get everybody engaged with the project constantly. And this, I think, creates a very healthy community around the project and gets everybody on the same page. And then the last question that I wanted to ask myself is how do you manage it? And I said, don't be afraid to get yourself and your team busy. Work hard every day. This is one of the best things that you can do is work and work hard and make mistakes. And once you make those mistakes, look into them and try to fix them. This, I think, is probably the most useful thing that I can share with you right now. It is very important to put work into your project every day and try something new and experiment. Of course, you can implement all of the things that I tried to share, but at the end of the day, every project is very different, and you're going to have different elements to it, and you cannot always implement the things that I implemented, let's say, in the musical mentorship initiative. So just work hard and get your project team to work hard with you. Of course, once you find the passionate people and the people that love it even more than you do, that's not going to be a problem for you. So that's pretty much what I would have to share with you today.
As Alexander just said, if people support and believe in your mission, they will ask to contribute to help without even needing to be asked. So this is why you need to figure out how to reach to people who are passionate about your cause and work.
So with that, I would like to thank everyone for coming and being together with us today. I hope that this was helpful for you, and I hope that you learned something. I hope that you enjoyed this session, and I look forward to seeing you again, and hopefully sometime soon in person also. Thank you. And thank you, Lara, for running this together.
Thank you so much, Alexander. And thank you, everyone, for attending the session today. I hope to see you soon in another workshop of ours. Have a nice day, everyone.
Thank you. It was wonderful.